Oh, there's the chat. Do I have to put? Okay, you see it? Okay, good. Like, I didn't put in a description of what this is. Can I do it right now? Oh, I can. Let's see. First stream. Testing this out first. This'll just be for this one, right? First zoo. Planet Zoo. Get rid of. Is that gonna work? I don't know if that went in there or not, but whatever. Oh, you don't hear me? Why not? Mm, why does it not have my sound? Uh, let's chat settings. Um, I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh, you do hear me? Oh, you had it muted. Okay, because I'm like, I don't know why. Settings. Okay, so okay. Thank goodness I was about to start changing a bunch of settings and stuff. Okay, so I'll show you the zoo. Like it's a hot mess. And I look, it auto saved. We can get rid of that. My just playing zoo. That's where I was building all the domes. Did I already delete it? No, I didn't delete it. There it is. Let me delete these real quick because they get on my nerves. Although I'm glad it auto saves because every now and then it crashes. Okay, here's the zoo. And this is where I was trying to practice some like building things and stuff. So it's like, it's not cohesive, but who cares? I was just trying to figure it out. It was making some money though. Why is it taking so long? I wonder what animal I'm gonna get. Look at the little rhino. He's walking so slow. I hope I can stream all this at the same time and it's not gonna crash the game out if the slope is too steep. I was gonna try to build, I was getting ready to try and build like a monkey habitat. Not a, well, see, I did change it. That's the only thing I changed. It's a sandbox zoo in franchise mode in a sandbox with those settings, and then I just changed the aging to 2.5 times. But see, yeah, this was for the Western chimpanzee. They need that much water around them not to break the, like, be able to get across. And I was like, nobody can see anything. But see this? 426 diseased animals. Like, I'm over it. These penguins, let's go to the beginning. These penguins are driving me crazy. They were cute until they got sick. And now I'm like, I don't have the capacity to deal with y'all at all. Okay, let's go over here. See, I'm almost at $3 million, and I actually tried to cap my visitors. I had 3,000 and something visitors, and I tried to cap it at 2,500 because my frame rate was going down. There were so many little people in here that it was yeah. See, right now they're kind of glitching out a little bit because there's so many people. Oh yeah, I was gonna use null barriers and then make like natural habitat, which is why I was trying to make the water, but they need 20 meters of water, which is too much. The other ones don't need that much, and I could probably do it, but they need way too much. But I'm getting rid of the zoo anyway. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the beginning part. And so I put my two info boosts right here. And then, no, that music, I put in Zoom music. It's not too bad, but we're turning it down. All right, so, and then I was playing around with signage. Like, there's my Galapagos. He was the first one, the Galapagos tortoise. I put my little staff buildings over here and tried to close them in, but I needed more research centers and all that stuff, so it's just open on one side. Hang on. So there's my little signs that I was messing with. Here's my bathroom. I learned this from, who did I learn this from? Few Candy. I was watching hers. But I like this bathroom design. It's actually got two in here, like one on each side. I'm not real good with the camera yet. I'm used to the other one. See, so I put two in here, but I really liked her design, and she put in the little vents. I didn't put flooring down. Look at the little clipboard. So I like that design for that. And then I did, I don't want to go into the walking around mode because I want to be able to zoom. I was trying to make, there's my two little, what are they called? Vending machines. Um, so I put those in. I was trying to make little cute covers for those. Well, I've been working on it. I told you I got um, caught up. And then I found out, like, I made this a walkthrough. But let me tell you, these tortoises, like, they get stressed out at the least little thing. And I'm like, how? It says you can make a walkthrough habitat, but they always stressing about something. I'm like, why should you be able to walk through? But see how it's not big enough? The habitat is big enough for all the animals. Um, but remember, I found out you can put education signs under the ground. You can hide these. You can hide your speakers like under the ground, and it still counts. And these, I colored my donation, but you can hide your donation things, and they'll still use them. And I did that in the exhibit, so I'll show you that. But there's my Galapagos. They're always crowded, but I started with them, so they were a good little money maker. And there's my food court. I made a little food court. I made the invisible paths and put out like the picnic tables. Like you can see those. And I landscaped that, right? So they can come and sit down like that little lady sitting down. So we got our food court over here. And I was trying to make it a little interesting. But this is, remember I told you I made that shell, the store shell. So this is the one I made because I'm not good at these roofs and all this stuff, and this is the best I could do. And I saved it as a blueprint so that I could just use it in the zoo whenever I laid one of these down because it was frustrating me trying to build. And then I made a little ATM. Um, I made a little ATM thing, so I kind of like that. But yeah, so there's the food court. I put a loony balloons in there. Bathroom. Um, then see, look at that, 491. That's just ridiculous. So then you can go through here. Let me raise up so you can get a better. You can go through here because the Galapagos tortoise, actually my second, this was my second one, the African wild dogs. So this is my African wild dog habitat. Um, I was trying to work with places where they could see all the way around because my issue was how do I get the um, keepers, but this is way too much. Like they don't. Oh, I checked my donation boxes. I took them down because most people don't sit up here to see them. They're like congregating here and around the wall, and I'm like, okay, we don't really need to have that much. There's my little keeper. Look, bless them. They're trying to get these penguins back and forth. But see, I found out I could run my keeper gate in here and my staff path if I raise this up. Because you could do viewing areas, but they need to be big enough where they can turn around and not run over each other. But yeah, this habitat is actually too big for them, but it doesn't matter. So that was my African wild dogs. And you can either go down the middle. Oh, you do have to go down the middle. So that's why I made a loop. So they'd have to come all the way back down and come out of the African dog's habitat. There's a little pip shot water, put my little shell on it. They come back out to the main path, and then I added in like a gulpy right there. But we'll go this way. So I was working on landscaping and like doing this kind of stuff. So you come through here, and then I made this, which the rock work took me forever, and now I've learned how to do rock work a little better. Yeah, I have enough money. That's for sure. That's what I'm saying. Hire more vets. I did hire like three more and put them in a work zone specifically for the penguins, but it's irritating me. Like I'm done. I'm done. I don't care. I'm finished. So I actually made this and did the terrain and kind of did a little cave almost. And in here, these are my four exhibit animals that I got. So I got the axolotls or whatever they are, and I did poisonous frogs because I knew I was gonna do a water habitat with the See, I didn't push this down in there, but I pushed down my little education board in here. So there's some poisonous frogs in there. Oh, I have my donation. This is where I hid my donation. Let me find them. I don't know if I can see that. I shoved it in the rock wall, and it still works. Oh, that one's not working. Look, here we go. This is why. Because my inspector's in the zoo, and look at all these fines, and now it's going to freeze up, and I can't do anything. Let me just pause it. Because this takes up. By the time they fine me $750 for every single of these 480, like I'm going to be bankrupt anyway. And now I can't stop it. I should have paused it when I had the chance. Ugh. Is it going to let me? I can't get that off of there. Now we're not going to be able to see because of these. This is why I'm closing the zoo. I can't. I can't do it. I can't even. Like, I can't do anything. They're fighting me. Ugh. I can't move. No, I can move. Oh, my jeez Louise. Hold on. Can I leave? Let me go to the main menu. Yeah, I don't care about. I didn't make any changes. That's what I'm taught. Like I can't even work in my zoo because of all the fines that I'm starting to get. If I could find the inspector and kick the inspector out, I would. Just so that I could like okay, we're going to pause it. So when we go back in, we'll pause it and hopefully I won't have all those I'll get it paused before we get all of the different stupid fines. It's gonna bankrupt me. I'm like, oh, I got almost $3 million. Well, yeah, but 500 penguins at 750 a piece is gonna be a big old dent. All right, let's try this again. And I'm gonna pause it as soon as we can. Hopefully that won't still be up there. Hopefully, and I can. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Don't freeze. Don't freeze. There he goes. Oh, he's moving. Slowly but surely. Hold on. We'll get ready to hit the pause button. It's driving me crazy. Yes, I know. That's the other thing is I was trying to use animals that would live a long time. Like 30, 40 years. Okay, let's pause it. Pause now. Now it shouldn't matter. Let's go back to this whole tour thing. See, I just can't. It started doing that yesterday, and I was like, I can't do this. The zoo is gone. Like we're going to delete it. But I did want to at least show it cuz it's my very first try at a zoo. All right. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by all these fines for these sick penguins, I have these over here. I do have donation things I shoved in there, and they are working because I've tested it out in other places. Um, but see, like you can take this and shove it down under the ground, and it still works, which is amazing because then you don't have to have all that ugliness everywhere, which is irritating. Yeah, pausing it was the key. All right. So then, and everything down here kept getting vandalized. See, there's another one. So I put a security camera there. A lot of good that does. Thanks. But you know how long I've been working on it, right? Like, that's why. So then they can come up here. If we go up this way and there's some more facilities, that's another thing I'll change is how I do the facilities. This is the African penguins. So you can come up here and I put in like an education point, but this is their habitat. And I didn't make it with the null barriers. I just covered it with rocks. Look at them. Y'all the reason I had to shut this zoo down. Penguins. They're cute as anything. But this was my first attempt at doing an underwater viewing area, which is part of the reason it's so big because I didn't really know what I was doing. So I made it big enough to hold 500 penguins because you can have up to 500. So I'm like, let me make it big enough so when they start to breed, it'll hold them all, right? And that was like, because you see, remember you told me we had that video where you can, if you put land over the thing, it'll be clear water underneath, which really, can we not change the transparency of the water? I know we can change it in the settings, but I don't know if it'll make it. But anyway, so there's an aerial view, right? So basically, and I haven't covered this over. So basically, you can come down through the exhibits because none of this existed. So it was just you could go see the tortoise, you could go see the dogs, then you come back out here, come through the exhibits. Because I was trying to get people, it doesn't work. Okay. I was trying to get people to come down to the underwater viewing area because I thought that's cool. So, um, that's down here. So usually they come out of the exhibits, which is why I put that like kind of to bridge the gap. So down here, look at my caretaker. Girl, you go. But the thing is, I made this little platform down here, right? And here's my underwater viewing. But I also made this 20 meters deep, which is too deep because it was like they need 700 meters of diveable water, like depth wise. And I'm like, I can't do that in here. Remember, I was talking about that? So I'm only going to make it 10 meters deep because look how tiny they are. Now that I have like 500, you can see more of them. But this habitat's way too big. And like, I don't even think you're supposed to put the mirrors down here, but I did it anyway because they needed more enrichment. Who cares? But yeah, so, and then I did all this rock work, but they weren't coming in here. Like, they wouldn't come over here. So I'm like, well, look, somebody vandalized that. So I'm like, let me put food and drink down here because then they have a reason. Plus, they need another little spot, right? So I built in, I put down, what did I put in here? Cosmic Cow ice cream, gulpy soda, and loony balloons. So I put those three things down here. But then what happened is they come down here to get food and ice cream and stuff, but they weren't looking at the penguins. Not that there were many to look at that point, but I'm like, crap. Because at first, some of them, they'd come down here and they'd turn right around and go back up, and I couldn't understand why. But when I put this stuff down here, then they would come all the way. But they'd just go over here and they wouldn't go see the penguins. I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? These are penguins. So then I put in an educational talk point because I'm like, let me try that. Which there she is giving a talk right now, actually. So I put that in. And then it took me a while. I had to search on YouTube to find out how do I connect. I didn't realize you have to put the talk point in a work zone and then assign the educator. And did you know that you can change what they do? Like right here, guided tours, animal talks, roaming talks, and you can check what they do. Oh my gosh, it was killing me. I'm like, really? Expect a higher salary. Girl, we about to shut the whole zoo down. You're not getting paid. I hate to tell you that, but yeah. So anyway, there's that. Yeah, you can change what they do. Cause I have I don't have any guided tours, of course. That's gonna be a whole nother issue. So that finally got some people down here when there were more. Look at the litter. Like I hate my caretakers. I assign them to zones, and they still the educator or the you can assign. You click on the educator. If you click, look, that's gonna need to be fixed. Well, no, it's not. Maybe we'll just let all the water out. That would be mean. Just kidding. If you click on the educator and go to this employment tab under tasks, you can pick what tasks they do. Yeah. So I did that. Oops. Yeah, doing the rocks down here was something else. Like it took me forever. Because you know how I get when stuff is tedious. I'm like, I'm bored. So then you come up here. And then my other issue was like the staff paths were so ugly. And I was like, I've got to have staff paths. So what I did was I made the staff path around the habitat. And then to make it blend in, I did a tunnel. I used those curved rocks. And this is actually a tunnel that I used to enclose my staff paths that runs. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So you can see where I shoved plants down here. Oh, look, he's actually using it. So yeah, my staff path runs all the way around, and I just made this tunnel and just kept like it goes all the way around the back because it was just wide open, and I thought, ugh. All right, so when they come up out of the underwater viewing area, oh, I put more bathrooms and stuff here because I was like, they probably need a bathroom break and food. So I've connected this. I put in water. I put in a few over here. Gulpy energy. Um, this is the main food court. Oh, here's where my staff entrance. I did this for the staff entrance to that. Isn't that cute? I thought that was kind of cute. I was pretty happy with that. Probably use it in my other ones. So yeah, they can get food and drink. They come up out of here. Then they can go this way. And the first thing I did over here was I made the gray seal habitat. None of this was on this side. So this is all I had. And this is the gray seal. Is it gray? No, I'm sorry. The giant otter. So this is the giant otter. And I only made this 10 feet deep. I mean 10 meters deep. And it was fine. So now I understand that I can do that. Yeah, the otters. I like the giant otters. They are cute. I'd turn it back on, but you know, I'm gonna get fined to death, and we'll have to start over. They're adorable. I love them. But I was trying to. I worked with the null barriers on this one, so I'm trying to practice with those. And I put in an education talk point here. Is there many in here? 280, not much. So I put it in the educational top point, and this time I tried to work with the seating. So I linked the seating to it. I don't know if it's actually working and they're sitting there. I ran the path all the way under it. Supposedly the seating is supposed to link to the path, but I didn't get it linked. And then I was trying to think of a cover, so I took this and used it and kind of added some stuff and worked with it, made a wall because it matches the exhibit one. Oh, there's a caretaker. Hope you're doing your job, buddy. So then you come up here. And then I was like, okay, I came up here. I put in another bathroom, which is a single bathroom. And then I put in a couple of, or a few food and drink, right? And an ATM thing again. So I thought this is a good place for it. So I did that. Then I was like, what am I going to do now? And I had this open area that was all right here with nothing in it. And I thought I could put exhibits down. I thought, wait a minute, what if I did some kind of crocodile or something? Because I know they need shallow water, but not a lot. So, um, I just, these gharial things, whatever they are, I decided to put them in here. So I built my little, you know, I hollowed that out, trying to make it where I could put them in there. I was having a bunch of issues with pathing and trying to make the pathing right. So I finally, after building up and around, and I got that. It took me forever to do this part. And of course, that's the staff tunnel right there. Because you have to put down power sources. See, there's my um that's a transformer. There's a water treatment. And I had to put a couple of these down. I didn't close this in yet. I'm not going to. There was a power source here, but I had to move it after I got this in, and it's just crazy. But you know how you have to put power sources down for this power grid stuff. So anyway, I put these guys in here, and that was a pain in the butt. This is with null barriers, though, and I just built the rock up because they only need like a meter because they got those little bitty short legs, so you can't, you don't really have to worry about them. Now the baby ones, these little baby ones, I only had this. This was shorter, and they did climb up here and try to escape. But the males of this species are huge. Like this dude right here, look how big he is. But I had a problem when it delivered because, again, I was trying to get the staff path in. So I raised the guest path over it, which gets tricky. But the problem is when they got ready to deliver these guys, the boxes that they delivered them in were so big and they were glitching because they kept hitting the top of this and I couldn't get them out of the box. The box kept opening and closing it, opening and closing it, opening, and it wouldn't release them. So that was a whole nother issue I was trying to deal with. And with that and all the penguin stuff going on, I'm like, I'm so done with this zoo. I'm so done with it. Like, I hate this zoo right now. It was just glitching. I'm like, come on. I just need to get them in there. And then the traversable area. Don't even get me started with traversable area. Like, I was trying to make it where the zookeeper, that's why I ended up making land right here for him to walk on. Because I tried to build the rocks, the little rock stairs, and then they couldn't get through it. And then these guys are so big, like, they could barely get through any of the part. I'm like, ugh. And all the meantime, all my penguins are sick. I'm like, no, I'm tired. The zoo's making me tired. So, anyway. But yeah, so, and like this, see the glitchiness? I don't even care. Don't care. I know you can raise it a little bit, but I was just trying to make some kind of theme. And I probably would have covered this with the same kind. But then I was like, what habitat should I make next off of here? Which is when I was going to try some kind of primate, but not this one. The Western chimpanzee, I can't make a water barrier. That's too big to have to. The guests won't be able to see anything. And if I run the guests like over the water, the chimps can jump from here onto. They'll probably be jumping on my guests. Then I'm gonna have bad reviews. It's gonna be awful. So no. Anyway, so yeah, that's the first zoo. I guess I'll keep it. I'll keep it, but I'm not gonna come in here because it makes me mad and it irritates me. So I have some more ideas though. Um, yeah, I have because I made a sandbox. We don't need to save anything because I didn't do anything. Um, I made a sandbox because I was watching those videos I posted to you guys. Because I was like, how do they make those domes in those like mesh enclosures that are like a circle or, they're so pretty. I was like, how do they do that? Because I'm just trying to learn how to build stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is I have this one unlimited sandbox. My Just Playing, is it my Just Playing Zoo? Yeah. So this is my Just Playing is the one where I practice stuff in. So it's literally the sandbox settings, just so that I can practice building things and figure out how things work in different habitats. Of course, I'll have to put down what a trade center and a keeper hut because I only need one animal, you know, to try and test something out if I'm going to do natural habitats. So I'll probably put that kind of stuff down. But this is my practice. Yeah, this, and I did download this little archer guy. Where is he? Off of the Steam Workshop. You just have to subscribe. If you search Archer, Angry Archer, he'll come up. But yeah, this is really helpful for scale. So I was working with making the barriers, and once you make it, like I could save that as a blueprint, but if I copy it, then you can just stick them right next to each other. But I'm practicing with building on the grid versus off the grid. Yeah, you can. People sell them. That's what you can get off the Steam Workshop. You can get entire habitats. There's the little shell. I was like, for this next zoo, I think I'm going to use this. How did that piece of mesh get there? I think I'm going to use this kind of style. I'm trying to come up with some kind of concept of what I want it to look like. But here's the domes. Like that's the half a dome, and I actually got this one off a Delay Designer. Delay Designer. That's yeah. So I did the one that she did because it was easier for me to understand. Um, so I did that, and then you can delete half of it and like attach another building or whatever. Ever. Hey, Emmy, how's it going? I'm just trying to show my friend my zoo. Yeah, I'm new to streaming, but on Twitch anyway. Pretty good. Now that I'm gonna get rid of my penguin zoo with all of them. Thanks. Oh, I made a pergola. That was the first thing, actually, because it was easier. No, not daily. It's going to be erratic. Just when I feel like it. Just when I feel like it. But yeah, so I made the little pergola thing. This, I was trying to make one of those, like, and for the monkeys, like one of these or the lemurs. And as you can see, that did not go well. Because I didn't make it long enough or something. I don't know. I don't like using the mud columns. That doesn't work for me, apparently. So I play, well, right now I'm playing Planet Zoo. I like Power World. Um, on my YouTube channel, I have another YouTube channel. And I play Second Life, which is a whole nother, like, thing. So, but yeah. So this is my sandbox one. But I'm trying to get an idea of what I want to do for like the next one. I don't know how you did the um I don't know how you did the savannah animals. Like I was trying to do a hippo and I was like, no way. I've heard of Valorant, of course I've Oh, is that Dead by Daylight, the DBD thing? Is that what that is? I don't know all the um acronyms that are used. Because I'm not big into combat games. Yeah. Sometimes I want to shoot something, I'll go into Power World. That's about my extent of shooting things. But the other ones, that's way over my head. No, I'm not a student. I work, which is another reason why my streaming will be erratic. Anyway, I don't have to save anything. Did I move anything? No. So we'll see. So I'm trying to figure out how to. I want to make a new zoo, but I think I'm gonna make it like a sandbox. I think my next one I'll do another sandbox zoo, but I don't know if I want to do franchise mode. I feel like it's two different things. Like learning how to build and make um Learning how to build and make habitats and do all that, I feel like is a separate thing I need to do in a separate game save, than actually playing franchise. Do you know what I mean? Because there's two different sets, like skill sets to me. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Not right now, Emmy, because I'm about to end this stream. Just saying. Just saying. I mean, that's not bad. It was 35 minutes while I talked through the whole thing. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. But thanks for showing me how to do this. Now I know it is a lot easier to stream on Twitch. So yeah, but that's Mizzou. I guess Lexi Lou can watch it later. We'll see. All right, but you said I just have to hit stop streaming, right? And it'll shut everything down. Oh, they don't save? Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Oh. Not even for like a few days or something? I guess that's one of the advantages of YouTube. I don't know. Maybe. What does this button do? Share. Huh. I guess we'll have to look and see if we can find out. I don't know. We'll look. That's why we go to YouTube, is to find out how to do stuff, right? Okay. All right. That's what I'm saying. I know they've saved stuff. I've seen other channels. I don't know. We can figure it out. Plus, this one has all my fines and me having to restart, so it wasn't very good anyway. You're welcome. Now you know what that zoo looks like. All right, I'm gonna end it. Here we go. Thanks for helping me, and we'll see if we can figure out how to save them on our Twitch channel. All right, bye, you guys.